we're about to go ahead and winterize for the season. And like I said, we're just gonna take you through some of our process, or the process for the Georgetown. Currently I'm at the rear of the motorhome passenger side or campsite, and this cabinet here, you can see water heaters at the end. Water tank is in this bay. As you can see, it's identified as low point drain, and the low point drain is actually down below it. You can see those two. This cabinet unlocked. Side. There's my water pump, and you can see where those drains drop down through and come down on the other side. So for my purposes, I have to unscrew these two caps, let things drain out. Got about, you see the line here, to me looks to be like a half a tank of water, so we're gonna drain that out, dump the water out of the filter, and I'll probably most likely replace that filter for next season, so that'll go in the trash. Probably get this little filter here. A lot of people don't realize this is an actual filter. Get that cleaned out for next season as well. And then as far as winterizing, I don't use air, I do use the pink antifreeze, and I connect here using this hose. It goes directly to my water pump. So that's how we start this process. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those caps from down low and start draining. We have both caps off. They look like they just screw in, and we are draining. So currently that stream of water is coming directly from the tank. So what we're going to do next, make our way over to the hot water tank. Don't want to do that. Scratch it all up like that. Trying to do things with one hand, that's what happens. So that door just comes off, some door swing open. Alright, so one of the things you want to do is here, you want to release some pressure. Release some of the pressure, and then we'll get the tool to remove the anode rod. So how do I get that off? Some people use a ratchet set that fits if they can get in there. That one would be pretty easy. I had one that the rod was tight to get to because of this here, but I have this handy dandy tool purchased off Amazon, and this piece connects right to it. As you can see, it's hollow, and it just goes right on there like so. Perfect fit. And you could take I just use a screwdriver, and we just twist. I'm gonna go two hands for a second. Stand by. Alright. Try to get a good grip on there, and we've got movement. Alright, should be able to hand twist now. There we go. And there's that water ripping out. And that rod comes out and it shoots out. And mind you, that water's shooting out because we have that pressure release valve down. And that's 10 gallons of water coming out of there. And this is the rod from this one season. A lot of people say, hey, that rod is still some good. I just hate seeing it. So once I drain it, I'll put it back. But a new one will be going in next season. I think this was like a $12 part at Camping World. So no need to keep it. All right, we'll let that drain. We'll let the tank continue to drain. It's going down. And then what we'll do is, this is a good time to rinse your hot water tank out. So that's about done draining. You can see it's still trickling out. So I was talking about this is a good time to rinse your water tank out because you get a lot of gunk and build up inside. You kind of see some of the white stuff right there, residue that comes out. You see it all over the anode rod. So this tool here, another part off Amazon, trying to get a good picture of it. This hooks directly up to a standard hose, and it's got a nice arm, and that arm is able to get inside of there just like so. And you can really get in there and blast the inside of that tank out, and you'll see more gunk because that gunk will sit at the bottom and on the walls of the tank, and so you want to blast that and get that gunk out of there. And this tool is really good for it. I'll find this in my Amazon history and post a link for any of those who are interested. But works really well. And so while we're working with, I'm gonna call this the outside of the motorhome, close that door up. For this particular model, to bypass this water heater, I have to go under the motorhome. My last RV, I hated, you had to open up the slide out, remove 6/8 screws to take a panel off. It was a nightmare. I said I wanted a motorhome where you can do everything from the water bay. Looked at this motorhome, fell in love with the Georgetown, and didn't even check this part. Ain't that funny? So I'm gonna get down on my creepy crawler and show you how we gotta get under the motorhome. All right, so under the motorhome here, you have this cap that just unscrews. There we go. And hopefully you can see the back of it. Let's see if I can. All right, so you can see my 3 bypass valves. And so those are the 3 knobs we're gonna turn. Not too bad. I'll reach in now. That one done. Drop down to the middle. And one more at the bottom. Done. So now you can see everything's bypassed. That water will now go in a loop and avoid the hot water tank. Easy peasy. All right, I'm back up on my feet. So I turned the pressure relief valve back down, put my door back on so I don't forget. And I put the cap back on the bottom as well. So that part is done. Check to see if we're almost empty here. You can see a very small amount of water in there. Too much water, and it's not draining out. So what I'm going to do is use the leveling system to make some adjustments to push this motorhome up more in the rear to push that water more towards the drain, if that makes sense. So that'll be our next step. bit more, and as you can see, I'm starting to get a little more water out. Just need to make sure that's enough, because we want to get all of that water out of there. And if that doesn't work, what I'll do is just pull the motorhome out and drive it around with those caps off to allow that water to completely seep out. And the last thing I'll do for the outside work is remove this filter. If you don't know what this tool is, because those filters get on there really tight, I like to release some of the pressure from the inside, because that'll relieve some of the pressure off there. But this tool, it just goes in between the slots perfectly, and it'll help you pop that filter off. So we'll do that. Always remove that filter from the inside when winterizing. You can set that to the side, or for my purposes, it'll go in the trash. And that's what that looks like. That filter's removed. See that there. A lot of people get leaks. I've seen camping. People don't know where water's coming from. I helped them out, and it was their water filter cartridge leaking right here at the rubber seal. At least 2 people I've helped out. It was pinched up pretty good, and water was kicking out, and we just readjusted, and from there it worked. And so we are right back at it. Again, here's my bypass valve, so I've already turned it in line with the water pump. That way it blocks it from pulling water from the tank. So we're in line with the pump, coming straight through the hose. And I run my hoses straight to the bucket. Some people pour it in 5-gallon buckets. I just go gallon per gallon and use what I need. I did pre-fill the filter container just to keep the pump from pulling too much air through it. So that's where we are. Got some pink stuff in. The pump is on. It has come to a stop, and as you can see, just doing that alone, I've used pretty much 1 gallon. Again, this is a 38-foot motorhome, so without even doing anything, just turning that pump on, it ate up 1 gallon, and a lot of that went to the filter itself. So we'll just go inside and start turning on some faucets. All right, we're inside, and so we'll start right here at the kitchen sink, and we'll start off. I'm gonna start off with the cold side. Run cold until we see pink. Get the air out. That's plenty. And I'm gonna run it on the hot side. Still kind of clear. And that's pink. Same thing in both restrooms, toilets, and showers. Pretty much pink up here because I pulled it through the line furthest away from the tank, so it pretty much pulled through. Sink. Go. And of course, we'll do the same thing in the shower as well. Run the hot till we see pink, run the cold till we see pink. So during this video, believe it or not, my water pump failed. I got pretty much everything done with the exception of the washing machine. That was the last step. I didn't get any video of that once I installed the new water pump, although there are plenty of videos out there for the Splendid washing system. Fairly easy. You put it on a setting that draws both cold and hot water, and you basically start it 3 to 4 times. That way it pulls the RV antifreeze through those lines, and then you want to drain it to get it down in the drain pump and also the actual plumbing system itself. So fairly easy, but we had to pause, like I said, because that water pump actually stopped sucking the antifreeze through at the end of this process. So if you could like, share, subscribe, and we'll talk about the changing out the water pump here. So I guess they say that's why it's important not to wait till the last minute or the weather severely changes on you before you go to winterize and be prepared. So while I was winterizing my RV, my water pump suddenly went out. This is the model Pantera. It's a SureFlow. It went out on me, and I couldn't complete the process. However, I did jump on Amazon, ordered another one. It came overnight, so not a bad process. But again, guys, I changed this myself. Very, very easy. Mine was pointing that direction in my RV. So I unscrewed plumbing here, unscrewed plumbing here, and literally 2 wires. That's it, 2 wires. These 2 wires, not connected to each other. Mines were connected through what's called a Wago clamp. So all I did was pop the cap open, remove these wires from it, and the new water pump was exactly like this. I just popped those wires inside, closed the Wago clamps, and it worked very, very easy. My pump was bolted down here, 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 and here. Get that light to come back on. So yeah, it was bolted down 1, 2, 3, 4. So those were the only 4 screws I had to remove. Like I said, unscrewed the plumbing from this side, unscrewed the plumbing from that side, and released the 2 Wago clamps, and this came out, and the other one went in, and the new one worked like a charm. So it was literally just that easy. I just wanted to provide that update throughout this process. So that concludes us winterizing the Georgetown. Leave us some comments, some feedback. What methods do you use? Do you guys just use air? Do you use RV antifreeze? Do you use both? We would like for you to share and have that discussion with us and let us know what your options are. Thanks again, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. We appreciate you.